What's up? It's Tom Froming from Twins Daily. Thanks for clicking on this video. We're going to get right into this. It's a Twins 10. Been away for a little bit, took a little vacation up north to Duluth. So let's jump right in with 10 Twins topics. I guarantee you're going to learn something from this video. So the 2021 Minnesota Twins, somehow it's getting worse. Somehow it's getting worse. They started off terrible in April, and somehow they are doing even worse in June. They're only 3 games below 500 in May, kind of maybe thinking things would turn around. They play some winning baseball in June. No. 5-10 so far this month. 5-10 in June. That's a .333 winning percentage. Worst month of the season so far. Yuck. Blech. So there's the first one. Again, we're going to move real quick. I got 10 different kind of fun facts here. We're here at Baseball Savant. The Minnesota Twins. So on a positive note here, this is for the entire 21 season. The Minnesota Twins lead the league in barrels per plate appearance, and it's by quite a bit. As you can see there, they lead the Blue Jays, the A's, the Braves, and the Red Sox. But the Twins are number 1. These are very well-struck balls, requires an exit velocity of at least 98 miles per hour, and that the launch angle is between 26 and 30 degrees. This is a really nice visual of that if you're interested in what a barrel is. That is the barrel zone right there. And for the third item, we're going to switch gears over to Fangraphs here, take a look at the pitching staff, and have this sorted out by home run to fly ball ratio. So the Twins, 15.8% of the pitching staff's fly balls are going for home runs. That is very high for this season. Now, things are a little bit different. There's a bit of a different ball this year, but as you can see, they rank second in baseball behind only the Baltimore Orioles. If you want to take a look at the bottom teams, Miami, the Marlins at just 9.4%. St. Louis also way down there. So you can see that's a pretty big difference. For individual pitchers, this is usually a pretty good metric to look at to see if a guy has kind of been unlucky in a sense, if that home run to fly ball ratio is very high. Now, the Twins have given up a lot of hard contacts. So I don't know if you can go there, but just thought that was interesting. Sticking on Fangraphs, but switching gears over to Ryan Jeffers' page, taking a look at his numbers since he returned from the injured list, and that is from basically covers this month of June, and he's hitting .282 with a .300 on base percentage, and the really crazy thing is the .692 slugging percentage for Ryan Jeffers in this stretch. That's only 40 plate appearances, but man, he's been hitting the ball hard. 4 home runs over that stretch. Very short period of time to have 4 home runs. So that is a 164 WRC plus. That is a metric in which 100 is league average. So Ryan Jeffers looking very good since returning from AAA St. Paul. And Nelson Cruz. This was a guy I mentioned in the last one of these Twins 10s that I did about how poorly he'd been playing and how I was a bit concerned that maybe age was catching up to him. And check it out now. So far in June, it's not been a big sample, only 51 plate appearances. But this guy's absolutely mashing. A .390 average with a .480 OBP, a .756 slugging percentage, and a .228 WRC plus. So, very well above average. He's looking like Nelson Cruz once again, and that is just tremendous to see. There you see his weighted on-base average is over 500, which is just ridiculous. So, great to see that. He's had as many walks as strikeouts this month. So Nelson Cruz, the boomstick, looking really good so far in June. Unfortunately, his buddy Miguel Sano not looking quite as hot at the plate at all. Since his 3 home run game that he had against Chicago, this is a sample of 108 plate appearances dating back to May 19th. Sano's hitting 186. That's, his batting average has been terrible for a while. That's not too shocking, but with only a .222 on base percentage, this is a guy you usually can depend on for a decent amount of walks at least. Obviously, his strikeout rates are through the roof as usual. That's no surprise. I think you just have to expect that from Miguel Sano. But when his walk rate over this 108 plate appearance sample is only 4.6, that is a huge problem. Now, he's bringing the slugging still, .441 slugging percentage for Miguel Sano over this sample. That kind of salvages some production for him. You can see there's 7 home runs mixed in here. But without that on-base percentage coming with the slugging, you see his WRC plus, again, where 100's league average, 76. So over his last 108 plate appearances, a 76 weighted runs created plus. So here we are at Bailey Ober's page. You're going to take a look at pitching real quick here. He's been a really nice bright spot for the Twins. But a lot of people kind of weirded out at how short his outings have been. I get it. It is unusual when a guy's pitching well to have him taken out of games so early. But I wanted to show that, this year so far in 2021, he's thrown 33 innings pitched. That is not a lot. It's not a lot, but that's something like 42% of the way to his career high already, which is 78.2. Now, I can't really say how much work he was doing in 2020, I'm sure, or how healthy he was the whole year. No idea. I'm sure he was working hard and threw quite a bit, but it was not competitive innings. So it's hard. It's going to be interesting to see how these teams kind of navigate increasing guys like Ober's pitch count, innings pitched, pitches thrown. And it's clear the Twins are going to be very conservative with him. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a 4-inning start out of Bailey Ober, because if you can, the goal is keeping him healthy through the whole rest of the year. Something to keep in mind too with minor leaguers is their season ends in a month earlier than a big league season. So you're asking him, not only coming back from a year in which he didn't pitch competitively, you're probably going to be asking him to pitch an extra month than he's ever done before. So it's kind of a lot going on, and I would rather see them make it through the season with Bailey Ober healthy than to potentially break him down. Now, nobody knows the magic number of how many innings or how many pitches are going to break Bailey Ober and how to stay under that. It's all, guessing games, but I just wanted to point out, he is 42% of the way to his career high in innings pitched in a season already. So that's as a professional. That was in 2019. He threw 78 2/3 innings. That is the most that he's thrown as a pro so far. So the Twins are going to be very careful with him. So we talked a bunch about hitting, talked a little bit about pitching. A lot of the things that I don't mix in much is defense. Obviously a massive part of the game, but it's not that easy. It's not as easy to analyze. I should put it that way, because, well, let's take a look here. So I'm at StatCast, Baseball Savant, outs above average. Let's take a look. This is for every team in baseball. These are the leaderboards for the league. And as we can see here, outs above average, Andrelton Simmons ranks third in all of baseball with 10 outs above average. So Simmons, one of the best defenders in all of baseball by this metric. However, if we switch things up, go over to the Fielding Bible Awards and change the scope to DRS, defensive runs saved, I don't see Simmons anywhere up here. Nowhere to be found. Simmons is. Let's take a look at shortstops. Well, surely he'll at least be near the top of the shortstop board, right? No, he's not. He's not anywhere to be found near the top of the shortstop board either. Down here, this is where Simmons is. Defensive metrics, defensive analysis. It's difficult. It's difficult for me. I should probably just pick a stat and stick with it. Ben Rortvedt is a guy I want to look at, and I'm really encouraged by his early returns here on this page. So we're looking at minimum pitches called of 250. That's obviously not a ton. That's leaving a lot of guys in this here. And as you can see here, I'm getting a search result that includes 68 players. Oh, and look at poor Drew Butera on the bottom here. Our old buddy. What I have it ranked by right now is strike rate. Now, of course, this is not all a catcher's control here, overall strike rate. But I did want to point out of the sample, Ben Rortvedt is 9th in strike rate. That's very encouraging. And then along these, this is something that's just so great about Baseball Savant. These are all color coded, so it kind of shows, the blue is where he's not as good as usual, and the red is where he's better than usual. So let's take a look at a couple of these zones that he's really good at. And one of the things is the bottom of the zone is one of the places you can steal the most strikes. And Ben Rortvedt has the second highest strike percentage in the league on these bottom of the zone strike percentages. So that's really interesting to see. I wonder, he's a smaller guy compared to, Jeffers and compared to Garver. And the Twins, from Tanner Swanson, who's since moved on with the Yankees, have all those very unique catching setups. I wonder if he's even more benefiting from those, that he's not, he's 5'10", so he's not teeny, but he's not the biggest guy out there. But either way, he's got a great looking strike rate there. And you can see his overall runs, extra strikes is 0. So that's not, the leaders have 5 or 4. So he's pretty neutral. It's not like he's been amazing, by any means at framing, but that was kind of the thing that he was missing from his defense, because he's always been a really good catch and throw guy. I add like pitching staff management, interpersonal relationships, communicating with pitchers into that kind of defensive equation, and he's always been well thought of, well spoken of in that regard as well. But the framing hasn't always been a big plus for him. So for him to even be kind of neutral at the major league level right now, catching a lot of pitchers that he's not familiar with, to be fair, throw that out there as well. I think that's really encouraging and cool to see. But that was the 10th number. That was the 10th kind of fact. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and consider subscribing for more Twins talk here on YouTube. Thanks for checking this out.